What's going on? It's your boy Sermon at Sermon's Domain on Twitter. The Soundcloud era saw Drake often release Lucy's late at night. He deemed these scary hours. We'd get, 3 to 4 songs, 1 or 2 songs. It doesn't matter how many songs it was. The fact is, Drake was giving us records in between his albums, and these were album quality songs. If you weren't awake, like I wasn't, then you wake up in the morning and have all these new Drake songs to listen to. It's pretty much the best way. It was pretty much the best way to wake up in the morning. Screw Folgers. As the industry has changed, Drake has had to adapt, and we've seen less Lucy's of that caliber. We no longer get a Club Paradise or a 5 a.m. in Toronto. Those songs are now reserved for his albums. And rightfully so. The streaming industry has really changed how we listen to music, and so Drake is someone who wants to continue to get money and continue to break records, and so why would you want to release a couple songs for free on Soundcloud? The label wants to make money, and so of course, that's what is going to happen. So last night, like the good old days, Drake surprised everybody with 2 new songs, part of what he deems the Scary Hours EP. So let's talk about those 2 records. The first is God's Plan. This right here is the typical Drake single, the one that everybody loves and appreciates and sings along to in the club, when it's on radio, wherever you hear this record. That's the type of record that you get with God's Plan. It's the one that everybody, appreciates, just because I feel like Drake has mastered the spirit of what the mainstream wants to hear. Regardless if you love Drake or hate Drake, you cannot hate on the fact that he has figured out the perfect sound. One where he's going to continue to get radio play, he's going to continue to be big, he's going to continue to sell record after record. With that said, this record is largely going to be forgettable for me. I look at it like, in 2018, I want to see some more growth from Drake. And I don't really know what that sounds like. Maybe he doesn't either. Sometimes when you're on top, it's not wise to change your formula. So I wouldn't imagine Drake doing a complete 180 on his next album. I think it'll be similar to Views and More Life, but I'm also hoping that it's better quality. Maybe it's less songs. I don't know what I want. I'm confused as a Drake fan. I do know that I can appreciate a record like God's Plan without having to enjoy it. This other record that was on this EP is titled Diplomatic Immunity. This one is much better in my opinion. Drake, back on his rapping tip, is always going to make for a solid song. The beat on this one, to me, is just decent at best, but Drake works well with it. Instead of having like a full-on song, this is one of those long Drake verses where he just talks and talks and talks. He goes through all the kind of stuff that you pretty much expect out of him. He throws some shots at Joe Budden because, of course, I guess, everybody's trying to bait Joe Budden to come out of retirement. And I don't know if that's a good idea, because lyrically, Joe Budden is a monster. He might not win the popularity contest, but Joe is a monster. And then you got Drake talking about his meals. He's talking about, onion rings and all kinds of, sauce. And he's name dropping these restaurants that most of us have never heard of. He really loves talking about his meals, though. That's something that you see a lot in his music. There's also shades of vintage Drake where he's not afraid to admit mistakes in his past or reflect on his love life. For instance, one of the lines is, 2010 was when I lost my halo. In 2017, I lost a J-Lo. We knew that Drake and J-Lo kind of had a thing for a little bit, and then it kind of just dissolved. We never got, confirmation. But, I mean, here it is, Drake reflecting on that moment, and, man, that's got to sting. J-Lo is beautiful. with everything that is good about this song, there's also some corny lines. I mean, he says one where he's like, I got the sauce and now shorties keep claiming Prego. Prego is a type of sauce if you don't know. It's a funny line, but it also is still very corny. You can tell that he's truly a student of Lil Wayne when you hear him do songs or do lines like that. Drake is most definitely giving his fans another album in 2018. When you're on top, you do not stop, and that's one of the things that Drake knows best. Year after year, he continues to deliver. He continues to be in the conversation. I'll be honest in saying that these two songs don't make me overly excited for his next album. I'm not dreading it, but I'm also just kind of like in the middle where I'm like, okay, maybe this will be good, maybe it won't. I don't know. I'm really in a weird space with Drake nowadays. Like, I like some of the material, but I don't like it as much as everybody else. He's more popular than ever, but I don't have the same, excitement for his music that I had, back in, 2009 and 2012. And I know that my opinion is in the minority, and I accept it. So all you can really say is, let's see what Drake does next. So those are my thoughts on Drake's new songs, part of his Scary Hours EP. Let me know what you think about these two records in the comment section below, and then like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're not already, share the video. Follow me on Twitter @SermonsDomain, and as always, thank you for your time. I appreciate you for watching, and until next time, peace.